Hello, welcome. This is Dr. Leona Allen of Freedom Health Systems, and I'm here to help you achieve more freedom in your health and your life. And that really helps with knowledge and really understanding what we have stacked against us. And that includes knowing what's in our foods, what's in our air, what's in our water, because a lot of us don't realize how a lot of our health issues come from our surroundings. And so I'm here to just share information so you can see what we're going against. So I came across an article earlier today, and I thought it was important to share because I don't watch mainstream news, so I don't know if this is being talked about, but I thought it was important to share in this video. So there was a release that the CDC showed data that 80% of urine samples collected from 2013 to 2014 contain cancer-linked glyphosate. 80%. And I thought that was very disturbing and very alarming. Scientists have known for years that this was linked to the increase of cancer, but they allow it in the environment anyway. And those are the types of things that frustrate me, how they allow and approve these toxic chemicals in our environment. And this chemical, glyphosate, is widespread in our food and environment, and children are actually more exposed than adults. The truth is, this link to cancer, glyphosate's probable link to cancer, has been public knowledge for at least a decade. And it really hasn't stopped these major companies like Monsanto from pushing these toxic weed killers into the market. Most people have heard of Roundup, but if you're using Roundup in your yard as a weed killer, yes, it's made from Monsanto, and yes, it contains glyphosate, this very toxic chemical that's linked to cancer. It's just amazing. Even today, you know, hundreds of millions of pounds of this chemical is still being dumped on American farmland each year. And I just want to play my part to really educate and let people be aware of what they're surrounded with, what they're dealing with. Because you could be trying to change your habits, you know, change your diet and change what you're eating. And you'll probably make decisions to eat foods thinking it's healthier, not knowing that this food was possibly sprayed with glyphosate. So, yeah, I'm just kind of putting resources together. But now that you know that it's in 80% of the urine, I wanted to kind of share with you where this is found. Because this is in foods that you're eating every day. And again, I told you a few seconds ago or minutes ago that children are more exposed than adults. And the reason why this happens is because this glyphosate is found in a lot of those cereals that are marketed to children. This is alarming to me. You know, the kids don't have a chance to really develop their immune systems. They're not as robust as adults are. So it just saddens me that our children are eating these foods almost daily, you know, starting their day with these cereals that contain glyphosate. Oh my goodness. So, you know, some examples of cereals is the General Mills Honey Nut Cheerios. This is sprayed with glyphosate. And a good resource, an organization, ewg.org, is a great resource. They test these chemicals in different foods. So I recommend you check out their site and really look at, we need to start doing research. We can't just blindly buy foods and just hope it's okay. We need to do our research. Just like if you're buying a car, most of us will do some research on the car. We're going to look at mileage. We're going to look at comfort. We're going to think about color, how many seats it has. We put a lot of thought in buying our cars and buying our homes, but we need to start doing the same thing with our food. We want to make sure that we're eating food that builds and rejuvenates our bodies and repair our bodies, but we're eating things daily with these toxic chemicals that causes so many chronic diseases, and we're eating them every day, hoping that'll make us stronger, but it doesn't. We're actually eating ourselves to death, literally. Oh my goodness. So we got to start researching, and I'm just going to start sharing this information to encourage you to look this up for yourself. Also, according to EWG, I found that the amount of toxic glyphosate herbicide exceeded the amount of both vitamin D and B12. So in a sample of Quaker oatmeal squares, there was more glyphosate than vitamin A. Now, I won't get into whether or not this was a whole food form of vitamin A. I'm pretty sure it was synthetic vitamin A, but still, you're eating these foods hoping that you're feeding yourself or your child a cereal with all these vitamins, because you see it on the nutrition facts, and someone will look at it and say, oh my goodness, look at all these vitamins in there, but not realizing that there's more chemicals in there than any kind of nutrient. And it's in a lot of our cereals. You know, the oatmeal, a lot of the oatmeal brand contains this glyphosate. The Quaker Chewy S'mores. You know, there's so many, and we need to start being aware of those foods. So it's dangerous. Let me just explain that the glyphosate is a widely used broad spectrum systemic herbicide, and it's also found in foods. So we're spraying these things to kill the weeds, and I don't think you'll take a bottle of Roundup and ingest it, but pretty much when you're eating these foods sprayed with glyphosate, you are getting it in your system, and it is dangerous. Even in March of 2015, the World Health Organization classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic in humans, and this was based on various studies. And I can think, 2015, increase of cancer. Cancer has increased in the last few years, especially in children. It seems like people are getting cancer at younger and younger ages. And I've noticed that since I've been in clinical practice. So it's pretty scary to know this. And like I said, look this up. There is a lot of information on this. And they'll report that it's safe. Monsanto will still state that this is safe, but there's so many science and evidence that it's not. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe. So I just want to kind of summarize this and really let you know what is going on. I'm going to really take some time to really share a lot of these things that we're doing daily and not really being aware of it. Because if you saw this, glyphosate is in our urine, I would say, I'm just going to take a guess and assume that most people aren't going to really understand. They might say, well, I don't have a big farm. I'm not spraying this over my crops, so I'm okay. But you're buying the cereal that it was sprayed on. So I really hope that helps. I just think this is alarming. Again, it's in children's foods. These kind of things shouldn't be in our food. I'm a big advocate for clean, natural, organic food and eating foods that helps us grow, repair, and produce energy in our bodies. If it doesn't do that, it's not a food. Chemical is not a food. All these dead, devitalized ingredients that they're putting in our foods aren't foods. These food dyes, all these different things, it is not food. So be careful out there. Do your research. Check out ewg.org, and it's a great resource to let you know the list of cereals that contain these glyphosate residues. Hope this video helped you, and until next time, go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life.